Yo, fam, market's not looking good everywhere right now. Lots to speak around. Bitcoin pullback, gold, massive pullback, silver pulling back, stock market's pulling back, Dixie pumping. Lots to speak around. Obviously, we've got lots happening in the world right now affecting markets, but we're starting to lose some big momentum. So let's jump on. If you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like it up. Let's go. Okay, guys, so here is a bit of a warning sign with Bitcoin. We are starting to lose this key trend over here. Right, so we had this push up. I was waiting on this previous pullback at 60,500. Right, we pushed up, we now come down, and we started losing this trend. So there's a wide wedge. We had a lot of volatility, right? But now we are starting to lose this wedge. So we need to speak around the scenarios that's in play. For me personally, I'm waiting with limit orders down at $60,500 on Bitcoin. I'm looking for a higher low W pattern. So what that basically means is we've had the drop off. I'm looking for the lower high. I'm looking for the higher low, and then I'm looking for the push up to these areas. As you can see on the charts over here, this is where liquidity is sitting in the market right now. We have a bunch of liquidity sitting at the bottom, close to that 60,500 all the way to $60,800. Then what we have is two big liquidities to the upside. We have $65,000, we have $67,000, and we do have liquidity starting to form closer to the mid 70,000. So still kind of keeping to the scenario that I've been waiting to play out, right, is for us to hit around the zone and start making our way to $72,000. Now, again, anything that invalidates that, where I'm bearish, is if we start accumulating below the previous lows of 58,000. Until then, I'm looking for higher low and for a good push into Q3 this year. Okay, so plays that I'm seeing on Bitcoin right now. The first one is us not reclaiming this level. Therefore, we start accelerating here over the next day or two. And then I'm looking for a bounce up to capture this liquidity at 65,000. What we did notice was because we never got through this wall multiple times, many shorts took place in this area. A lot of liquidations are sitting in this area over here, right? So it is something that the market might want to go grab after this current move over here that we're seeing. But this is where liquidity is lining up, with the 618s lining up, the Fibonacci level, and a whole bunch of horizontals over here that we are seeing. So again, keep that in mind over there. That is the play that I'm looking for. If we have a deeper push, because there's a lot of catalysts to speak around, there is a scenario of us as well pushing to the low 59,000, that's a 786 fib, and that will be the second area of where we're looking. So again, someone, for me, that's going to be longing here. If I have 10K, I'm probably longing around 3K in this area here, looking for a little bit lower. Otherwise, I'd wait for price to bounce and then add more on confirmation of trend. But for now, downside that I'm seeing. Now, what that looks like for altcoins, right, is more downside. We are coming into support now. So it's quite interesting to see what's going to happen on alts here. Okay, but it looks like another little bit down on alts, and a bounce here is what we want to see. Something like that for bullish scenario. Bearish scenario is us losing this, push down here, and then start moving to the upside, right? So a way that if I'm kind of trading this market, I can pop a little 1 hour trend in there and I can just track this down. And if I see a bounce on the support and I see a break of trend, it's something that I'll kind of use as a long signal. But until then, just waiting patiently to see how we look in this area here, which means that lower areas that I have for bounces is kind of what I'm going to choose right now, kind of be very bearish as possible, specifically midterm. I'm not super bearish high time frame yet. 58,000 still hold. That's still my bullish zone. But for things like ETH, you know, looking at another push down here to the 1700, maybe late 1600 is what I'm still kind of looking for. Solana's starting to get quite aggressive to the downside. So we might be seeing, I got some limit orders sitting between 70 and 72, $73 is limit orders that I'm sitting on Sol. There is even support up to just under $70. So those are kind of spot buys that I'm patient for to see if we can get to those levels. It's main 618, it's the main trends from the bottom. That's where I'm paying attention when it comes to things like Solana. USDT dominance is showing us some strength. We could see that higher high and then a drop down. I actually want to see if we'll get some divergence. We have a bit of bearish divergence right now. So if the market did have to turn here, we could see a reaction. But it looks like if we get a new high here on price action, it will erase any bearish divergences, meaning that it's a pretty serious and real move that we are seeing right now. Okay, things like ETH dominance is not looking so great. So it's very likely ETH, Solana, Bitcoin will be the bigger droppers. Alts itself should hold pretty nicely. A couple of alts to pay attention to. If we see a breakout in the next day or two is Near Protocol. We see a break. Might be a nice push up of up to a 30% move to the upside once we get through that area. Now let's speak around stock markets and what we're seeing over here. So we are in an uprising wedge. Okay, this is futures over here. Now again, the pattern's not bullish at all. Okay, however, short time frame, we are coming into some bounce zone. What we want to see in the market pretty soon is a bounce up here. To invalidate some bearishness, we need to get outside of this. Right? If not, and we start losing this over here, we could see anywhere up to a 5 to 10% move to the downside in stock markets. All right, so if you look at things like S&P, there's S&P over here. S&P is still looking okay, not too bad. We do have an uprising wedge, but a drop could easily take us down to something like that, which is a 3-4% move. And the DXY is really looking quite strong right now. Okay, there is a small chance we see a bounce from where we are now. Okay, so again, dollar index is right in resistance. We want to see, for bullishness, we want to see a drop. If not, strength. Right, very likely oil's waking up right now too. Big move in oil to the upside. We did actually speak around these zones, right, of a bounce zone, 786. We spoke about the first bounce at 83, and then we came down to the 786 area over here. So strong bounce over here that we're seeing in oil right now. Not too great for markets. When it comes to the scenarios of gold, gold is a big one to speak around. We're coming into a big support zone, guys. Us losing this support over here, and we are looking at a drop down into anywhere between 3,400 to 3,600 will be the areas of where we can drop. So we need to see a gold bounce here pretty soon. Could see a bounce up to this area over here. But if not, things are looking very bad. And it's the exact same thing when it comes to silver as well. Silver's looking in danger zone. We're starting to lose bottom trend. We could see silver easily drop into the $40 ranges. So guys, lots going on right now. Very scary as things stand. So we need to be careful out there right now. I kind of think super bearish, but again, with bearishness comes opportunities. So be nice and patient. I'm being patient for my new entries here on Bitcoin and this area over here, and then we'll take it step by step. I'll see you guys all on the next stream. Have a fantastic day. Lots of love. Bye-bye.